Hey, so I figured I should make a video on how to visit the most popular temple in Hong Kong. Well, not just how to, but what to do once you're there. I'm talking about the Wong Tai Sin Temple, by the way, which is in, well, Wong Tai Sin. So you may be a tourist or an expat or just a local who may be curious about this place, but maybe you're intimidated by it because, well, religions have a reputation for being guarded, and you may wonder, oh, will I offend anyone? Will I have to wear a special hat? Can I talk in there? Am I even allowed? None of this really applies at Wong Tai Sin and at Chinese temples in general, except maybe at some Buddhist monasteries where the monks live. But most Chinese temples are lively and crowded and loud and smoky, almost like a market that's very smoky. So you don't have to feel intimidated by them the same way you might by a church or a mosque. Just don't be obnoxious or be like holding a beer as you walk through the place, or like pee in a flower pot. Just treat it like, any other public space. Okay, first thing first, how do you get there? Just take the MTR to Wong Tai Sin and look for the exit for the temple. You can't miss it. Oh, and make sure you have some cash on you. Maybe 1 or 200 Hong Kong dollars, depending on what you want to do. There should be some ATMs in around the MTR station if you forgot. Anyway, once you get to the temple, people outside will try to sell you incense sticks, and you can buy from them or from one of the stalls right next to the temple. Just get the smallest pack because you only use exactly 9 sticks. It's specifically 9 because there are 3 specific shrines inside the temple for you to each put 3 sticks in. Because the temple wants to limit how smoky the place gets, which is ridiculous because it's still crazy smoky there all the time. And one more thing, if you're planning to visit the temple during Chinese New Year, which is the first 3 days of the New Year, and then also if you want to visit on the 15th day of the same month, expect huge crowds. The temple will also get pretty crowded on the 1st and the 15th of every month on the Chinese calendar, especially if they land on the weekend. So just Google ahead of time if you don't like crowds. For some people, this may be part of the appeal. This is why crowds are a thing in the first place in societies. But if you have small children with you, I wouldn't recommend going on those days. To get to the main temple, you will turn left here and go up these escalators. There's a museum on the first landing, which has some models and history about the temple. So you can check it out if you want. Then on the second landing, that would be the main entrance to the temple. You would find 12 statues of animals from the Chinese zodiacs. You can go rub your hands on them, or if you want to spend more money, you can buy one of these tags for writing your wishes and then tying them near your zodiac. I don't know exactly where you get them, by the way, but you can just ask someone. In the corner here is the entrance to the Tai Soi Din, which translates to something like the Zodiac Guardian Palace. Basically, depending on what year you were born and what year it is currently, your zodiac may be threatened or bolstered by the zodiac that is reigning for the year, so to speak. So you may want to go down there and pray for mercy or pray for extra fortune. And I think the tickets are like $100 a person. But if your zodiac is currently being threatened, I think you can go in for free. The bouncer would check your ID card or passport to see if your birthday qualifies you. Okay, enough of that. It's time to actually get inside the main temple. First, light up your incense sticks. There should be some fire around next to the statues here. Be careful not to get burned, although you probably catch some hot ashes on your arms today. Once the sticks are lit, walk up these steps and go bow in front of the gods of your choosing. There are a few on the side in addition to the main hall for Wong Tai Sin in the main building in the back. Be careful not to burn people. So you'll visit 3 main shrines over the next 10 to 15 minutes. The first one is the main one for Wong Tai Sin, who was a real guy that ancient Chinese people decided to promote him to a deity. Therefore, the honorific title Tai Sin, which means like big immortal. The guy's real name was Wong Tai Sin. You'll see a bunch of people shaking out sticks from a cup behind you. Don't worry about that for now. We'll come back to it. After you've done your bowing and stuck the 3 sticks in the tray up here, you probably get burned. So here at Wong Tai Sin, most people are not allowed inside the actual buildings, and that's not a Chinese temple thing. It's just a crowd control thing, I think, because you can go inside a lot of other Hong Kong temples just fine. And by the way, what I'm about to say about the Wong Tai Sin Temple, it's also generally applicable to other Hong Kong temples. Basically, you always buy some incense sticks and then stick them somewhere. And then sometimes there'll be some temple-specific rituals like fortune seeking, which I'll talk about in this video for Wong Tai Sin. But most of the time, they're pretty similar. Okay, where were we? Okay, you just got done with the first 3 sticks. Now exit the area to your right. You see a lot of other things going on, but you want to be done with your incense sticks first, because otherwise they'll burn out. You'll see signs for your second set of 3 sticks, which is at the Sam Seng Din, or Triple Saints Temple, immediately to your left. There you'll pray to Guan Tai, which is the god of war, so for safety and protection. Gunyam, which is just the Bodhisattva, which is Buddhist, and Loizhou, which is kind of a scholastic deity, so you can pray to him for like a job promotion or to pass an exam. It's kind of a grab bag of gods. And this is also what makes this temple kind of special, because most temple only house one god, or if there's more than one god, it's usually gods from the same religion. But Wong Tai Sin Temple houses gods and also non-gods like Confucius, and from Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. So it may cause a bit of a confusion when trying to define the religion here. It's just folk religion, folks. Don't think too much about it. Chinese rituals and lores aren't as regimented as other religions because they're not centralized or organized like Catholicism or Islam. There's no regular gatherings where people gather around to listen to a priest, and everyone kind of just go to the temple by themselves whenever they feel like it and do their own thing. Okay, so after you've put down 3 more sticks at the Sam Seng Din, you'll turn around and follow the big arrow for number 3 and walk past this lotus fountain to get to the little pavilion here for your last 3 sticks. If you forgot to count and have more or less than 3 sticks left, it's fine. Nobody will yell at you. Anyway, this last pavilion, it's about the balance of the 5 elements, so you can pray to Lilu here, or the blue alien singer, you know, from the movie The Fifth Element. It's a joke. Anyway, after you're done with the sticks, you can go back to the first shrine to do the main thing people like to do here, which is ask for your fortune. You can walk back to this area, and there should be a tray in the corner where you can grab one of these cups full of wooden sticks, which are called Tim Tong. The sticks are called Tim, and the cups are called Tong. Then you can just look at what all the others were doing and just copy them, basically. You'll kneel down on one of these pads and shake the cup until a stick falls out. If more than 1 stick fell out, put them back and start over. So to do this properly, you can only ask about one thing for one person at a time. And yes, you can do this on behalf of other people. The categories you can ask about are Yan Yun, which means relationship related issues, Si Yip, which means career, or Hok Yip, which means schoolwork, if you're still in school, Gin Hong, which means health-related problems. Choi Wan, which means money and finance. Ga Zak, which means family. Wai Sat, which means a lost connection or a lost item. And Kao Ji, which is related to like trying to get pregnant. You can ask about other things too, but these are the main categories. So each time you have asked for a fortune and shook a stick out, write down the number and what you asked about, or take a picture of the Chinese number on the stick if you can't read Chinese. Then move on to the next thing you want to ask about. And once you're done asking all your questions, you can then go to the stalls next to the temple so a fortune teller can decipher the message for you. Basically, each number refers to a Chinese poem that tells a story that's kind of cryptic, and the fortune teller would ask you about your specific issue, and then they would explain to you how the poem can be applied to your situation. It's kind of a traditional form of talk therapy, if you want to look at it with a modern lens. Anyway, it will run you anywhere between 30 to maybe 80 Hong Kong dollars for each fortune. And some of these interpreters do speak English, but those are probably going to be more on the expensive side. And fortune tellers, these fortune tellers, they offer other services too, like palm reading and baby naming and stuff. I'll make another video about that because, you know what, that's what my mom does. Okay, then finally, there are still more random things to do if you want to. There's the Yut Lo statue, which is the moon elder, who is the love god. Okay, that sounds a little bit weird, but anyway, legends has it that people fall in love when he ties an invisible red thread between them. So it's sort of like Cupid, but with a different bondage kink. You can grab a red thread here to tie to the statues after tossing a few coins in the donation box. You can do it for other people too. You'll see a lot of older parents doing that for their kids, for instance. Then there's also a Confucius temple for you to pray for your kids to be better at school, and we all know Chinese people are obsessed with that. There's also this money palace where you can pay $100 or $200 to get a few gold foils to stick to the statues, which is kind of tacky, but also kind of cool to see how gold foils would just stick to statues, stick to other gold foils without any glue. Okay, and then there's this nice little garden that's tucked in the back here where you can have a drink and just kind of chill. There are some vending machines around the temple as well. And then on the way out, you can smear your hand sanitizer all over these fortune writings here. Although I think they're only there during the first month of the Chinese New Year. And then after all that, you can go to the mall next door to get some grub. Or if you're still feeling good and it's still early in the day and not super hot, you can go for a hike up to Kowloon Pass or even up to Lion Rock. You're only a 30-minute walk from the trailhead. So do that. My name is Yu Yun. Thank you for watching.